2, 3, 4. Cry, little sister,
thou shalt not fall.
Come to your brother,
thou shalt not die.
Unchain me, sister,
thou shalt not fear.
Love is with your brother,
thou shalt not kill.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew and Kenny. And today, it's Why We Love the Lost Boys.
Cry, little sister.
What is up, guys? We're excited today. We are doing Why We Love Lost Boys. And this movie is pretty much peak 80s vampire cinema.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this
Absolutely.
is one of the most... probably the most popular vampire movie of the 80s, would you say? Or most
most recognizable.
At least most watched, probably. In my opinion, anyway. It was directed by Joel Schumacher, back when he did good movies. And, believe it or not, the guy had some good movies until he come along and tarnished his name with Batman.
It's the
Forever,
Ice Age.
Batman and Robin. Batman Forever, I will make an argument.
Chill out.
All right, everyone. Chill.
But before that, there was this.
But before that, there was other movies like this. And this was a great teen romance / action / like horror comedy. Like it kind of had pretty much everything. This really had a mixed bag of everything you'd want in a movie, especially from the 80s. And all with big hair and just sweaty people.
Yep.
It was good time. This one was a $8.5 million budgeted movie. So not too much, really.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear it's that low.
And I don't know if I mentioned the year it came out in 1987, though. July 1987 in theaters. Made a total of $32.5 million at the box office, so not too bad. I don't know if it was a big deal then, because I wasn't, I was -1 years old then. But
I was 4.
and you were 4. So
I drove myself to the movie theater.
yeah, I had to see this movie. Yeah. The Feldman, the Coreys.
Rode your big wheel.
My big wheel.
Yeah.
Yep. Blew the tire out on the way
Back
home.
when gas was still 99 cents a gallon, or 89 cents a gallon. Rolled my big wheel in.
It has more of a cult following.
For
sure.
Maybe it's
now.
more of a cult movie,
Yeah.
you think? I think now, when you think about 80s vampire movies, it's the first thing that comes in your mind, right? It'd have to be.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's the first movie that comes to my mind in a vampire movie, period. Is The Lost Boys.
Yeah,
for me.
I mean, really, yeah. For me, it's up, I'd say.
And then you get the second tier, like Once Bitten, and when we're going to do Life Force, that's just freaking crazy.
Yeah. There's a shit ton of vampire movies out there. Dracula from the 90s. But I still think the vampire movie wise, this is the first one that really comes to mind. I mean, basically, brothers Michael and what's Corey Haim's name in this?
Is it Sam?
Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Michael and Sam. Their mother moved to town to Santa Carla, California, and moving with Grandpa. It's somewhere off the shore of California, and they move in with crazy Grandpa. And there's a lot of shit going on in town, and it turns out it's also overrun by vampires.
All the damn vampires.
Just, Michael encounters David and his band of misfit vampires, and Star, who he's mostly attracted to.
That's what drew him
into David, with Jamie Gertz as Star. And ends up getting
Star.
ends up getting turned. Well, in the process of turning, gets bit.
He drank from the
blood.
bottle.
He drinks from the bottle. That's right.
Yeah.
He drank the blood. Then, meanwhile, Sam is meeting his own friends.
Yeah, the Frog Brothers.
The Frog Brothers. One of them being Corey Feldman. And, Corey Feldman knows what's up. They meet in a comic book shop, and he tells them about all the vampires.
Yeah, people are strange.
Yeah. So they say. Anyway, it's just about one brother's journey to save another from turning, basically. And then meanwhile, Mama's
unknowingly out with the head vampire.
Yeah, unknowingly dating the head
Max.
vampire. So big surprise at the end. Spoiler alert. But You got Kiefer Sutherland as David.
You're just a cool ass character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love David. What is the dude's name?
Alex Winter?
Yes. Jason Patrick is Michael. And we can't forget the saxophone guy.
Tim Capello.
Tim Capello.
I still believe.
Yeah.
I wish I could play that.
You just wish you could look that good while playing saxophone.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, just your run-of-the-mill basic vampire plot here. You know, I think another vampire movie also that I would think of is Fright Night in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fright Night's another one up there.
It's really good.
Yeah. I love Fright Night. We haven't done anything with Fright Night.
We should.
We need to.
Yeah.
We need to do Fright Night.
No.
Anyway, so critical response to this movie was, I think, fairly good, actually, or fairly decent for the time, but I don't know if I would necessarily say it was just like blockbuster-ish if in reviews, but I wasn't around back then. I can only go by what Wikipedia and other places tell me, but it did I think it got reviewed okay, even too. Even Ebert gives it a 2.5 out of 4 stars. It's not bad for Ebert, because that motherfucker don't like anything.
Yeah.
No, he's an asshole.
Yeah, 100% dead. A dead asshole.
He ain't giving nobody any thumbs up. No.
That's exactly right. So let's go over.
Don't take that out.
It's staying in.
Yeah, staying in. We're not editing that out. This is complete, just unedited video, just in shambles. Raw. Anyway, let's raw. We're going in raw. Let's talk about pros and cons of this movie.
So me and Kenny were talking about it before we were doing that intro. Man, when this movie starts, just the Warner Brothers logo, and it goes straight into Cry Little Sister.
Yes,
that is fantastic.
Overhead view,
and it starts with no music.
Yeah,
it's just the whispering, the cry little, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is
straight into that carnival.
Yeah, but what a creepy theme, but also very fitting. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, the opening to this is my favorite opening to any movie. It's so awesome.
I love the setting of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not the carnival, the dock, like it's so good. Like everything, you know, they have
the seaside,
you
know, with the cliffs.
Yes. I love that. I love the strip of like businesses and the comic book shop there and everything. I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it makes you feel like California is awesome, man. But I mean, we know it's really not.
Yeah.
But
we all know it's not.
The crazy grandpa's taxiderm house, like all the animal carcasses everywhere.
Wild.
It's
wild.
Nuts, but it's totally 80s.
I'm taking this one over to the Widow Johnson. What'd you stuff for, Grandpa? Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. I even like their little cave.
Yeah, their hideout.
The hideout they've got going on there. That's pretty fucking awesome. What did you think of the head vampire? The reveal of that, the nerdy guy, like
it was cool, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, he's a nerd, but at the same time, it's kind of dangerous how the head vampire was that close to that family, and they didn't even realize it.
Yeah,
yeah, but it was kind of like a little bit of a letdown. Like,
yeah. I mean, there was nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's.
Because it's, Max is the vampire. Look out. 2 minutes later, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have much of a stretch at the end.
David put up more of a fight than Max did.
Yeah.
Max got killed by Grandpa.
Yeah, that was a cool kill, though.
It was.
But if it wasn't for something like that, Max would have killed them all. Like, it'd been a bad deal.
Oh, I think so, yeah. I don't think Michael could have.
No, nobody could have stopped him because they all had hard enough time anyway with the others. Max would have been a bad deal, so it is kind of a good timing thing. Kind of worked out. I'm kind of with you on that though. It's like cool and not cool at the same time. That the nerdy guy is the head vampire, but on the same token, you never really suspect him.
Mm-hmm.
No,
at least I don't feel like you do because like he's a shop owner at the beginning when he meets the mom, and David and then walk by him or whatever, walk in, and he basically tells him to leave or whatever, and he kind of gives him this look. And I guess when you go back and watch it, you could almost maybe kind of
pick up on it.
You can kind of pick up on it, but not enough to where it spoils the movie.
Yeah.
And then they're messing with him at his house too.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
They throw that kite over there to him.
Yeah, that's just enough to. And it just goes to show you they're mischievous and they like to fuck.
And they did enough to keep your mind off of that, like
right.
He's not with them. You know what I mean?
Whether it was by design or not, and some of it may not even been by total design, because I think they're just misfits.
Yeah, rebelling.
They're rebelling. Yeah, they're rebelling children, and so they like to fuck around with daddy.
And they like Chinese takeout.
Yeah. How do you like your rice, Michael?
Yeah. How do those maggots taste? Maggots.
Chinese been sitting in the dumpster a little too long.
Yeah, you're eating maggots, Michael.
Yeah.
Would you like some noodles?
They're just noodles, Michael. Just noodles, Michael.
That's one of my favorite scenes, just because the way they're messing with
and
him.
Kiefer's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the way through. All the way through. You talk about not just the setting, but like the visual representation of this movie, the lighting of this movie is incredible. The wardrobe is amazing. Everybody just looks... Dude, Patrick... Oh, what's his name? Jason Patrick does not look as cool ever in anything else as he did as Michael in this movie.
Even close.
Not even close.
You're talking about the visual representation. I was watching some scenes today, and the punks on the beach when they got Walk This Way going, and they're watching them through the trees and just the amber lighting and stuff through there. Yes. Just a lot of stylistic choices I really appreciated in this.
Yeah. I also kind of found it interesting. It's not, except for like 2 or 3 key places, it's not really gory.
No.
That being one of them.
The beach scene was one of them. You pulling the brains back, and the bite in the head, and then at the end in the bathtub was pretty gross, and then them getting killed or at the end was a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of, which I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's placed really well and done really well when it's needed, and not when it's not there when it's not needed.
Right,
it's just not over excessive.
Right.
I like that.
No, it was good.
But when it's time, they unleash. I mean, yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, no one's ever looked as cool as that dude in a vampire movie.
No.
Poor Jason Patrick just couldn't live up to it in real life, though. He looks crazy. He's bad.
How about Edgar and Allan, the Frog Brothers?
The Frog Brothers. As a plot device, I found it entertaining.
Yeah.
What's great about this movie? It's R, and it's so adult themed. But there's enough humor, and it's interesting putting kids in this kind of situation. So you've almost got like a Goonies thing with the Frog Brothers just kind of ramped up, and then you still got the adult themes of Michael, turning and
when he's figuring that out, and Sam's catching on, and he's like, You're a creature of the night, Michael.
Yeah.
My own gosh damn brother.
Yeah.
A blood-sucking vampire.
Yeah, blood-sucking vampire.
I love how 80s it is where they're going around, they're stealing holy water and putting it in the bathtub and water guns.
The garlic necklaces. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
But you hate garlic, don't you? No, I love garlic. Just not that much.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's like been done before in movies, I think, but like Fright Night, it was done in Fright Night. They test, there's some kind of test, but I love that. I love they were testing Max, and he passed every one of their tests, and you could pass it off as a head vampire who's learned to overcome those silly weaknesses, or they're myth. I
think it was in this movie, because there's always something different in any vampire movie.
Yeah.
Like the lore is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So with this one, I believe it was once they invited him in, all that is useless.
Yeah.
That's why that didn't affect him.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe that's what it is. Yeah. That's cool.
And then I think in Fright Night, it was his faith wasn't as strong.
Yeah. Well,
that what it was?
That was also one of the Draculas with Christopher Lee that I just watched not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your faith wasn't as strong, so your cross is
it didn't work.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. But is there any other pros you want to talk about with Lost Boys? The music, the score in this movie is amazing.
Yes.
The setting's amazing. I love how those the central location for that town, especially at night, was the carnival and the beach. And
we didn't talk about the bridge. I love the bridge scene.
The bridge scene was awesome too. Yes. Yeah. Let go, Michael. Come on, let go. That was such a good scene, man.
You're one of us.
Yeah. So, any more pros you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of. Right.
Okay. Well, let's get into cons. Any cons you want to talk about?
I would say my biggest con with it, we already talked about,
was Max.
Would be the Max reveal.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest con with that movie. I mean, this movie's just, it is phenomenal. Yeah. It is fun.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. There's not really any big plot holes. They everything's pretty tight. The psychology and the moments that they have in this movie is top notch.
Yeah.
The way they made this movie is just like a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
Even if you might be a little bit too young, kids and or a little older kids and young adults, teens would all enjoy this movie and have themes for themselves in this movie.
So, I mean, I've said this before in past recordings. Like, my children have watched horror movies since they were kindergarten, or even before that.
Yeah,
like I just kind of jumped them in on that.
Yeah.
So this one here, probably one of the better ones.
Yeah,
for them, not as scary, not gory, over the top. So
you just got one or two scenes that it's no different than watching like Jaws.
Right.
Jaws was kind of mortifying as a kid too.
So my kid's been loving this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this awesome. Just kind of epitomizes that late 80s look.
Yeah.
For movies.
Yeah.
And there's something about that it's timeless and I love it.
Exactly, that's the good word for it. It's timeless, and it'll always hold up to me, and it'll always be a place that you can go back to, and you can remember when things were just good. So, is there anything else you want to say before we do a rating on this?
No. If you haven't seen it, please check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to be disappointed.
There is currently no places that are streaming this for free, or even with a subscription. A subscription. I think you have to pretty much rent it or buy it.
It's also one of those that it will be it's in and out
of things.
It might show up on Max.
Yeah,
might show up on Tubi.
Yeah, and then because this happens to me
all the time.
I'll add it to my watch list. And I don't get to it for a month or two. I go to watch it, it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
So, I mean, when it pops up, it's not there very long. So
yeah. So if you get a chance to do it, or if you can find it cheap, totally worth adding to your collection. Worth watching for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people who've watched this video have probably already seen it. But if not, definitely check that shit out.
I got a buddy, Timmy Lewis, and we work constantly text quoting this movie back and forth to each other all the time.
That's another good point too. It's got a lot of good quotes in it.
Yes,
it does. What did you think about the look of the prosthetics, the vampires in this? Because there's a lot of different kinds of looks for vampires in movies. You got your like Nosferatu look, and some of them look a little more beastie. Some of them look like just pretty with teeth. Like there's beautiful people or just normal people, but they have teeth. Some, like in this situation, you have this, or Buffy. They have the personal features, but their face just kind of changed a little bit.
That's how they were in this one.
Yeah,
the features were similar.
Yeah,
like as you could tell,
it just kind of made it a little more beastie. Like,
right?
Yeah,
I liked it.
I did too.
And the pale eyes.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. I've always loved that about. That's why I think I've always loved the Buffy verse about with the vampires in those movies, because they just kind of transform into like the beast, but it's not like a full nasty creature. Everything else is just a person. It's just a little bit of facial features and teeth, and maybe their eyes change. And I've always liked that, and that's one thing that I liked about this here. I don't personally like when vampire movies when they get too beastie. Unless they like have a full-on transformation where they turn into like a big creature, a big dog or something, that'd be
right.
That's okay. But they didn't really have any transformations in these movies, either, did they?
Not really.
They kind of flew, like they flew,
but it never really.
But
showed them.
There was no wings or anything like that.
No, it's just kind of like this glided really fast, because they kind of had that camera pan shot, which I also thought was really creepy.
Yeah.
Well, because I think it happened at the beginning of the couple, didn't they? And the security guard, they just kind of swooped in. You had the screeching noises, which I thought was cool. And then they just kind of swoop in, pick them up out of the car, and then they're gone.
Pull the roof off.
Pull the roof off.
Yeah.
Peel the roof off, and then they're gone.
Yep.
And people weren't just killed and left; like they were full on missing. So they,
there was no bodies.
Yeah. And that's one thing when they come into town, they've seen all these missing person signs.
Yeah.
Which sets up a really good like feel for the movie already too. Like they're moving to this town
that looks awesome.
But there's some sinister shit going on.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
And you know who to call.
Yeah.
The Frog Brothers.
No.
It's Frog Brothers.
It's the Frog Brothers.
Yeah. This did launch a couple sequels also that
Never seen them.
I watched them, and I don't want to say they're bad. They're not bad.
The second one, which was The Tribe, it's the best sequel.
It is.
As it gets
the Thirst
so shitty after that.
The Thirst is not good. The Tribe is not bad.
And Feldman's
in both of them.
And Feldman's not bad in The Tribe, but in The Thirst.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's gotten weird.
But Haim
He's got angels all around him. And
Is it The Tribe that Haim comes back, right? Isn't
At
Haim
the very end.
The very end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the very end. He's a vampire.
And he's a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, spoiler again. I mean, that's one of those things that if you pick these up as a trilogy, like if you get them on like physical media, then I wouldn't necessarily say if you just like B movies or whatever and you want to continue the story, watch them once.
Kiefer's brother also plays in The Tribe. He's the head vampire.
Yeah.
Not any relation to David.
Yeah.
But it is Kiefer's little brother in real life. So.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, this is kind of cool. What do we want to rate this thing?
4.
Just a straight 4. You with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
your opinion anyway. You can do a different thing than 4. Okay.
That's a good rating for this.
It is.
Out of 5, 4 out of 5.
It is. I don't know. I mean, nothing's perfect, so I hate to put it a 5. Obviously, I don't. We didn't have a lot of cons for this movie.
No.
And that's just us personally. I mean, it's a video called Why We Love, so we're not going to have a lot against.
This is our opinion.
This and Near Dark, which we put in a versus together, are right up there as the top ones for me.
Yeah. Near Dark's good too. This one is a really strong movie with very little cons. I don't know if you can find many, if any. I think 4. I think 4.5 is 4.25 is any of those would be. It's a strong 4.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep,
out of 5.
This is a top 10 movie for me.
It's a cultural, lasting movie. It's an 80s movie that still holds up. When you think 80s movies, it's always one of the top ones that of all the genres, it's one of the top ones that you can pick out. And there's all kinds of them that I think that Back to the Future. There's just a list of 10, 20 movies that when somebody says 80s, I think of, and Lost Boys is on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, probably the best vampire movie ever. If not, it's top 2 or 3 for sure. And that maybe that's bolder than what we said earlier.
I'd buy that for $1.
I would.
It's
my favorite vampire movie.
I don't think that's really even subjective.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's top 3 of all time.
These are our opinions, and if don't be a dick. If you don't like it.
Yeah, just let us know what yours is.
Yeah, let us know what yours is without being a dick.
I mean, if you want to be a dick, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just not going to like your post. We won't like or love your post.
No, we won't.
And we will tell you you're wrong. But no, you can say whatever you want.
Wrong.
I will not filter anybody. You go right ahead and say whatever you want. I won't stop anybody. I'll just tell you you're wrong because you'll be wrong. Let us know in the comments though what you think of Lost Boys. And if you have not seen it, once again, go watch that shit somewhere. Go find it. What do we got coming down the pike?
We have not discussed it.
Oh.
As far as Why We Love. We're getting ready to launch a new series, which I think one might have came out by this time. Kind of forgotten movies. Like we're getting into some crime dramas and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure where we're going just yet, but stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and be sure to like and subscribe. That way you don't miss anything, no matter what it is. And we'll see y'all next time.
We're out of here.
Cry, little sister, thou shalt not fall. Come to your brother, thou shalt not